while since my last video. Who the fuck are you?
It's bad out there, man. It's been 3 months since your last upload, and your 50 subscribers are pissed. Oh, sorry. Hold up. Yeah. Okay. Your 48 subscribers are pissed.
Well, I could make a Cruelty Squad video. The next consumer soft products game is coming out on March 31st, so I think that would work.
What the f*** are you talking about? This is war! We don't have time for video gaming!
Well, look, I gotta upload something, and the last thing you're gonna catch me uploading is Roblox or CS2.
Wait, but wasn't the first video you uploaded on your third channel a Roblox video? And wasn't your most recent upload here a CS2 edit?
Get a load of that guy!
Welcome back to the Real Name Recruit channel. It has admittedly been a very long time since the last upload, but we're finally back, and today we're talking about Cruelty Squad. For those of you who don't already know what Cruelty Squad is, it is, quote, an immersive power fantasy simulator with tactical stealth elements set in a sewage-infused garbage world. In normal person terms, this is just Hitman on LSD. You'll figure it out. As I mentioned in the intro, the developer of Cruelty Squad, Consumer Soft Products, is releasing a new game into early access at the end of March, so I thought it'd be pretty fitting to record a Cruelty Squad video. But I've already beaten the game and I want a bit more of a challenge, so in this video I'm going to be seeing if you can beat the game without jumping a single time. But I've already wasted enough of your time, so let's get into it. Woo! Woo! I'll figure that shit out in editing. Enjoy the video. No challenge run is complete without a rule set, so let's go over the rules real quick. Number 1, no jumping under any circumstances. Pretty obvious. Number 2 is that I'm not allowed to use any augments that replace my jump, so stuff like the Grapendix and the Gunk Boosters are off the table. There will be certain exceptions, as I'll mention later in the video, but we'll cross that bridge when I get there. Finally, this isn't really a rule, but I'd like to mention it anyways. I didn't reset my save for this, mainly because I didn't want to lose my progress, but it doesn't affect the run that much. Anyways, let's get straight to the gameplay. Our first level up is Pharmacokinetics, acting as Cruelty Squad's tutorial in a sense. Thankfully, it doesn't require us to jump at all, and practically every area I can think of can be accessed without jumping. The only potential issue I can see down the line is that the run is going to be slow at times, mainly due to the fact that a lot of the fast movement you do in this game is caused by jumping. But at least for now, it's not going to cause us any issues. Next up is Paradise, and compared to Pharmacokinetics, and generally speaking, it is a very expansive map, which means a lot more slow walking. Thankfully though, slow walking is the only thing we have to worry about, as this level is easily clearable without jumps. However, I did start having concerns, but not about whether or not the challenge will actually be doable or not. I'm really hoping the difficulty does pick up at some point, because if most of this is just like Cruelty Squad, but it's really fucking slow, this is gonna suck. Like, I'm gonna record this and be like, yeah, you know what? This fucking sucked. At this time, I was not aware of what I was going to be facing down the line. Aside from my concerns about the run potentially being too easy, everything else went smoothly, we were able to clear out our targets and move on to the next level. Next up, Sin Space Engineering. Why the f*** is the water red? Sin Space Engineering, or SSE for short, is very similar to Paradise in level size, which means slower walking, but it has the upside of only having one target we have to take out. It was during the slow-ass walking that I realized I can equip the speed enhancers, which will make me faster at the cost of having less armor, meaning I take more damage. This definitely won't cause me to die in stupid ways later on. But we don't have to worry about that for now. All we have to do now is take out our target and leave the level, which for whatever reason I decided to take the longest way possible, even though right outside the compound where the target is located there is an exit. that probably doesn't help with the completion time. Questionable decision making aside, we now move on to Bog Business, a level that in theory should be impossible due to the toxic water that will probably kill us before we even get to our target. However, we do have one saving grace, that being the toxic biohazard suit. This prevents us from taking any sort of toxic damage whatsoever, making this level pretty much a breeze. Because Cruelty Squad is kind of gamer-tastic. Oh, shh. Wait, hold up. Hold up. Okay. I'm gonna shut the fuck up till I get out the level. Next up is Seaside Shock, and this one was a breeze. Jokes aside, I was concerned about this level a bit, and not because of my inherent lack of skill or anything, but because I thought this level contained some amount of vertical movement we're not allowed to do. Once again though, in somewhat consistent fashion, we do not have to jump to beat this level. But don't worry, it does not stay like that for long. Now on to one of the levels I was the most afraid to do for this challenge, that being Apartment Atrocity. Generally speaking, in a normal playthrough, this level isn't that difficult, mainly because it's really easy to leave the level once you clear out most of the enemies inside the apartment. However, to do that, you have to jump off a balcony to enter a back alley to leave. And since we can't do that, we're forced to go through the main entrance where most of the enemies reside. This isn't a route I had taken to leave the level before, so needless to say I wasn't very prepared, costing me a death. But all in all, aside from that one death, it wasn't that difficult. Next on our list, we have Mall Madness, and I honestly thought that this level was going to be really difficult, but it was so fucking straightforward, it's not worth talking about. Now on to a level that's actually worth our time, we have Androgen Assault. This level's maze-like structure can be very intimidating if you don't know the layout. However, if you know the most optimal route to traverse the map, it can be beaten very easily without jumping a single time. Now, on to Casino Catastrophe, a level that I initially thought would be a walk in the park, but that was because I forgot one small part of the level. You see, something interesting to note about this level is the fact that there is a little river that runs through it that is filled with toxic water. Normally this doesn't cause you many issues, but it's going to be a bit of a problem for us. We might have a problem. Now, this isn't actually the end of the world for us, as there is another route we can take to get to the main target. However, it does have a lot of stronger enemies and generally speaking might not be worth our time, because I think I have a solution for our other route. In Cruelty Squad, there is a bit of a weird mechanic where if you kick a wall or hit it with a baton whilst you're in the air, it will give you a boost upwards. Normally, you'd combine this with a jump to do what's called a kick jump or baton jump, but we can't do that obviously since we're not allowed to jump. But we're not out of hope here. There is a wall next to the river where we need to cross, and if we time it just right, we can land a kick and baton hit off of the wall to let us cross the gap. Thankfully, aside from this one area, we can do the rest of the level very easily without jumping, meaning we can move on. At this point, I would consider us in the endgame as we only have 3 main missions left to do, and the first one of these 3 is Idiot Party. This level is intimidating at first, but it only took me about 5 minutes to route out a jumpless path, and aside from that, the only thing you need to worry about is bringing a bouncy suit for the end of the level. The next level up, Office, is just as easy, with the only real threat being the armored enemies, which are easily outrunnable, making this level a breeze. Finally, we have found ourselves at the very last level, Arc and Grid, and it's pretty much safe to say at this point that this game might be beatable without jump. In a shockingly cruel twist of fate, it turns out that at the very end of the game, we run into the worst thing we could possibly imagine. A gap. This is extremely detrimental to us for 2 big reasons. First of all, we can't do any form of a kick or baton jump to get across as the gap is simply too large. Second of all, we have no choice but to make this jump somehow, as glass covers everywhere that we need to go, meaning that if we simply drop down, we're not going to have any success. At this point, I started experimenting with new augments such as the Biothruster. However, it ended up being useless mainly because it only boosts you forward and you don't gain enough speed to cross the gap. At this point, I was almost ready to give up, but I still had one ace left up my sleeve. If you recall from before, I used an augment called the Bouncy Suit in the level Idiot Party. The main reason I used it there was because it reduces your fall damage to 0 when it normally would hurt you. Outside of this one usage, this is an item that's generally speaking pretty forgettable. However, it does have one functionality that actually saves us here. If you're using the bouncy suit and fall off of a ledge and it's high enough, if you hold space instead of landing dead still on the ground, you'll bounce off of it. We can leverage this in our favor by falling through the gap we're supposed to jump across, holding space so we bounce off the ground, and then timing a kick baton jump to just barely get over the lip that we need to cross. And I'm not even joking, aside from that, there is no other point in this level where we need to make a jump, which means that Cruelty Squad is in fact beatable without jumping. Okay, thank fucking God, let's go. Oh, we did it! So, there you have it. Cruelty Squad beaten without jumping a single time. In all honesty, I was not expecting it to be nearly as easy as it ended up being, but hey, I'll take it. Hopefully the next consumer soft products game will allow me to do similar stuff like this, because in all honesty, this was a ton of fun and I would love to do something like this again. I enjoyed making this video, so I really hope you enjoyed watching it, and if you did, be sure to leave me a like. If you have any ideas for new videos that I could do, be sure to leave them in the comment section down below. For once in my life, I actually have more than one video planned, so it shouldn't take another year or so until the next video comes out, so... Yay! Once again, I really do hope you enjoyed the video, and be sure to stick around because I've got more coming down the line. Anyways, see ya.